Hey guys, hope you're all doing well today. I'm in my very messy studio at the moment and I'm just about to pack up to go to a gig up in Liverpool, which is about 4 hours drive away. It's going to be one of those days today where I've got a lot of stuff on. It's a super busy day. I've been up since about 7 a.m. Just to do some final prep. I actually shot another video for YouTube this morning, some last minute set list prep. I'm just finishing up building my rigs for this gig because it's a sort of a party type function gig where we're not using amps, so we're all on in-ear monitors using just straight into the PA through pedal boards. So here's what I've got. I've got my usual pedal board with all of my usual toys on there. But then my amp for this gig is over here. So this is quite dark. Let me just pull that out into the light. So this is a really simple little board I'm using. I'm using this Hotone binary amp, which is a really cool sort of amp sim with built-in cabs. I'm using, I don't know if you can see the screen, but I'm using like a bassman type setting that runs straight into a DI box, which then goes into the PA. I'm running this Akai custom shop compressor in front of it, which is just a really sort of, it's quite cheap, but it's very nice sounding warm compression. I'm running it quite subtly, but I just find that running this into the amp gives a much more pleasing sound, especially because I'm using my regular pedal board for my drive section especially. It just sounds a little bit more natural with the compression in front of the amp. So this does mean I'm taking two pedal boards to a gig, but this one is going to live at the back, and I'm actually just about to make some extra little tweaks to this to mount my in-ear monitors to this, so that when I show up at the gig I don't have to set that up separately. It'll be contained on this board. Alright, so I'm just going to put this together now, ready for the gig. I am sitting on the floor because I don't really have enough desk space, so I only put this together quickly just to kind of test my theory about this rig as I was building it last week. But now I'm going to put the actual thing together as a whole rig. So it's powered with this really cool Diago power supply. The camera's quite dark, but you get the idea. So with this rig, oops, sorry for that. With this rig, the cool thing is, because I'm running straight into a PA, all I need is an XLR from my DI box going out to the system and an XLR back to my in-ear receiver. So I like to mount this to my board as well, so that when I just put this on the stage, it's kind of a one-stop shop and it does everything I need it to do. So there's nothing crazy about this rig. It's very simple. It's only a couple of key components, and you know, it sounds pretty good all things considered. You can't beat using a real amp, but when you've got these kind of gigs, sometimes you have to just make the most of what's there. So I've just got to finish plugging everything in, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm just wiring up the underside of the board. It's probably a little messier than I'd normally have it, but I've got a couple of these connections which are still live, so I'm just going to put some electrical tape on them because that prevents them from shorting when they touch other metal parts of the board. Okay, there it is. It's not much to look at, but this is my in-ear monitor board. This replaces my amp at these sort of gigs. So I plug straight into my regular pedal board, then I run a jack cable from my pedal board into the compressor. The compressor goes into the Hotone binary amp, which then goes into the DI box, straight into the PA system. The PA then sends a signal back to my in-ear monitors, which I then receive with these lovely Mackie dual driver in-use that I have. And that's it. That's how you set up for an ampless gig. So now I have to pack everything up and get everything in the car and get on the road, because it's a long drive to this show. We're playing in Liverpool, like I said, in the Metropolitan Cathedral in a place called the Crypt, which is underneath the cathedral, so that's pretty cool. I've never played in a cathedral crypt before, so this should be quite interesting. So let's see how the day pans out. Today's guitars of choice: a blonde maple fretboard Tokai Breezy Sound Telecaster style, and obviously probably my hardest working guitar, my 83 Tokai Gold Star. I don't tend to go too far without taking this with me, so that is pretty much my rig for the day. It's got a box of cables, a pedal board, another pedal board with my DI system on it, 2 guitars, and an iPad. iPad very important when you're jumping in on a gig at the last minute. Capo, always need one of those. And that's it really, so let's pack up and hit the road. Alright, Liverpool, here we come. Quick stop off for some caffeine and a couple of supplies for the road, and then we're on the way, so we'll see you on the other side. I decided to pull over for a bit in the Brecon Beacons National Park and just have a little bit of lunch and a bit of a chill out before I get up into mid Wales. This is where the roads get a bit more interesting. This national park is sort of in the Welsh mountains. We're really lucky to have this on our doorstep, but we just don't seem to appreciate it as much as we probably should. But one of the things, being a musician that travels a lot, I get to see these kind of places quite often, but it's a shame it's often through the windscreen of a car. I mean, we've got this incredible landscape around us. Big shout to Wicked Kitchen for the best on-the-go lunches you can get. It's not a bad place to stop for lunch, is it? I've definitely stopped worse places than this before. Well, here we are. The Liverpool Metropolitan Cathedral Crypt.
Hello.
thing they really don't tell you about when they think about a musician being a very glamorous career is this side of it. So it's 10 to midnight and I'm sitting in a service station with a coffee about 180 miles from home. So my ETA getting back home is going to be 3:23 in the morning. So I've got 3.5 hours left on the road. The gig was incredible. It was a lot of fun. The crowd were nuts. And now I'm going to caffeinate. I've got Starbucks, which I'd much prefer Costa, but hey ho, you can't be too picky out here. So here we go. Alright, travel update. It's now 2:10 in the morning. I've probably hit the halfway point after the best part of 2.5 hours of driving. I should probably be a lot further right now, but there's been a lot of motorway closures, a lot of roadworks, reduced speed limits, so my arrival time back home is going to be 4 a.m. So this is pretty much what musicians have to do on a regular basis. This is pretty much the life of a musician, I think. And that's a wrap. It's 4:26 in the morning. I'm finally home after a 18 hour day on the road. I've been awake for nearly 24 hours. And that's all the day's work. So I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of an insight into what a musician gets up to on a day. So thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and I will see you guys when I wake up. Thanks for watching. See you soon.